causing trouble since high school. Okay, so
I missed you.
then
I'm sorry.
this whole beginning is gonna get taken out of interview. Thank you, baby, for helping with that. Glad my wife is watching live,
Yes.
so we have to
Okay.
stop the interview and do it another time. All right, so yeah, let's just start back over. So yeah, basically talking about persistent progress. Just give an introduction for what we're doing. Persistent progress. The model is constantly striving to become better any way possible. And so with that, we've done videos previously. We're kind of just inspiring people, doing motivational, influential stuff, passing on good knowledge and information, as well as teaching people how to network, but also giving a helping hand to help people network, as in connecting them to other people. So with that moving forward, that's why we have started as a company. Persistent Progress goes career exploring. And so with doing that, when we're going career exploring, I am basically going around interviewing people of many different careers and professions to basically get a little bit of personal insight about this job that you may have or career that you are pursuing, the goals at which you're going after in this career, and kind of like what's your plan and the steps that you take along the way to get to where you're going. So we'll go further into that eventually within the interview, but just kind of giving a base understanding of what this interview will be about. You are the second person to do this interview, and I want to say thank you, and I appreciate you taking your time out and supporting Persistent Progress. Hopefully we can give you the same type of support and any type of influence that you're giving back to us as a company, because what you're giving us today, we're spreading it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If I had a Twitter, we'd be doing it on that too. We got other platforms that are going to be coming for the company. But just basically now that what you're here today doing for the company, this is going global and worldwide, in the sense that you can actually fathom for how big of an expansion for networking that we're trying to create and provide a positive influence for not even just the community, but the community as an expand of the world. Basically, I have definitely had friends that support me from in Canada and even outside of North America. So if you think about that, that's the way that we're trying to network to expand and grow, because there's people everywhere that we could learn and grow from. So,
Right.
but yeah, with further more ado, like I said, thank you for coming on, Sage. This is a family friend of mine. I definitely call her my sister. And so I just want to say I appreciate you, and we can start by you just kind of giving a little background information about yourself, who you are, and tell us about the career that you do right now.
Okay, so of course I'm Sage. I am currently a hemodialysis technician, wife, mother, all that. Um, I got started in dialysis in 2016. Prior to that, I didn't have a lot of knowledge about it. To me, it kind of seems like a hidden world, kind of, because you don't hear about it a lot unless you have family members who are dealing with it. And so, people who have kidney failure are generally the ones that come to dialysis. We have stage 1 all the way up to stage 5, and usually, if you're at stage 5, that's when you come and see me, because that's pretty much your end stage renal failure. So there's no possibility of you regaining that function. Um, as a dialysis technician, basically what we're doing is we're just basically here to substitute for the fact that you don't have any kidney function. So we're removing fluid out of your body, and we're also cleaning your blood, getting rid of all those toxins. Um, this My great grandfather was actually on dialysis, and I would take him to his appointments sometimes if he wasn't able to get a ride or whatever. So like I said, I had like very, very little knowledge of it. um but it's amazing because for our people especially, it's so common that our people have this issue. So I think the primary reason why I even got into dialysis is, one, I wanted to be in the healthcare field. But I knew I didn't want to be a CNA. Like, generally that's how you know, get your foot in the door. I
Right,
knew that
right.
that wasn't for me. That wasn't what I wanted to do. And really, the opportunity kind of just fell in my lap. Signs for men, signs of kidney failure is watch out for like when you pee, watch out if it's like really, really foamy. If for men, if when you pee, if it's really, really foamy, that's something that you definitely need to go get checked out. If it looks like kind of like suds, pretty much. Um, for most people, it kind of just happens out of nowhere. I've had patients who have been in like bad car accidents, and they've it's kind of knocked out their kidney function, but not to the point where it's stage 5. Like sometimes, with a couple of dialysis treatments, more like a month or so, like they can regain that function. Hopefully, that's the primary goal. Um, People with kidney failure, uh, coming out or in the toilet, coming out going into the toilet. So like it'll be super foamy once it actually hits the water in the toilet. Um, people who People of color, primarily, especially African Americans, we we struggle with this because the top two leading causes for kidney failure are actually high blood pressure and diabetes. So that's like pretty much a double whammy for both of us, for both of them. Because I mean, just dating back to slavery time, like we've always put stuff in our bodies that should not be there. So, that's definitely something to watch out for as well. Just take care of yourself and what you're putting in your body, because that high blood pressure, if it goes on for so long, that definitely will knock out the kidney function.
So I have a question for you. And
Okay.
this is even going off of the script and stuff like that. 'Cause you got so much information that I'm a firefighter, so I had to learn a little bit for getting my EMT certification. But I just know the
Hmm.
base function of, preserving life till we get them to the hospital where we can get specialists like nurse and doctors on board to help hands on with these people. Can you kind of give like a quick little summary of the stage? You said stage 1 to 5, and I think kind of like that'd be a good help for people to understand for the severity of where they're at. Just far as if they do go into it, just even they should know about this information from stages 1 to 5 before they actually enter into the stages. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull
Okay.
it up on the computer just because it's a lot that goes into it. 4 and 5 are pretty much the last stages. 1, 2, and 3, you have a possibility you can come back from. I'm trying to think. Normally, if you're like say you're stage 1 or something, and like there was no traumatic event that happened, it's just that maybe the doctors saw based on the blood work, that this is, a possibility. There's a lot of things that they look into for that. But sometimes they'll just like put an access in your arm. And when I say an access, it basically means that they're tying together, they're going in, it's definitely a surgery. They're
Hmm.
tying together your artery and vein together. And that's basically what we're sticking in. It's so weird, but phlebotomy is similar, but not, because you're just going into a vein, whereas your artery and vein have been tied together, so it's a little bit different. So sometimes they'll do that and just be like, just kind of like prepare for the worst. Like it may be years down the line or something, and you might not even ever have to use it. But once you get to that point, once you get to stage 4 and you get to stage 5, you already have that in your arm, so you can immediately start dialysis. Um, Patients that I talk to, when they first find out that something, is going on with their kidneys, they really talk about the fact that you just have no energy. You have no energy. You don't feel like you can breathe. Um, and essentially, if your kidneys aren't functioning, water is building up in your system. And so you're pretty much drowning from the inside.
Mm.
So that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much what that is. So once dialysis happens, we're removing fluid to get that off of your heart, around your lungs, like whatever the case may be.
Okay.
Um, I wanted to find that for about the stages.
And so while you're
because
doing that, one thing that I think I do remember about being on dialysis for people, that they have two options. One is what, either you take dialysis every day, but you're at home with it, or you go to dialysis at the dialysis center, what, 2 to 3 times a week? Is that how it works?
three. Yep,
Three.
3 times a week. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We have patients. We start at like my first patient is on by 6 o'clock in the morning. So we have to be here like, 5 o'clock in the morning just to get everything
Mm-hmm.
prepared and everything. And like we have our Monday, Wednesday, Friday patients. We have our Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday patients. Some clinics they don't have, they don't run 6 days a week. So, but for the most part, yeah. Um, I'm not really familiar with the home dialysis aspect just because I haven't met a patient yet that has really, yeah, that has been through that. But I do know that in order for that to happen, in order for a patient to have dialysis in their home, there's a lot that goes into it. Like you can't have a whole bunch of pets running around. You have to have somebody there with you at all times to monitor you. You have to have a big enough house to support all of the equipment, that that is entailing, So we have that, and then we also have a PD, peritoneal dialysis. So with that, basically, they're putting the catheter pretty much in your stomach, um, and they're like you basically you do it yourself. You're just changing out the bags and stuff, like, but you're doing it at home.
Right.
I found that patients sometimes it's just the fact that they don't want to have to do it all the time, and so they'd rather be in a facility. Like they just rather for us to do all the work, so they know that they're not messing up anything. Some patients actually like it because it's better for working people. If you're going to work still or you're just on the go all the time,
Right.
PD is definitely the best option. We also have it to where um, we have you can do dialysis on cruise ships, you can do it on airplanes, like certain stuff like that. Like I had a patient who she always traveled and she had like a little mini they had like a little mini machine that they could take with them, or like I said, you can do it on cruises. um Person, is it continuous or do they connect and disconnect? The bag is always there. The bag is always there. So they're when it once it fills up or whatever, that's when they change the bag out. I think in the beginning you're changing it out like every every 4 hours. And then I think once you are doing it for so long, then you only have to do it like once, or well, I think like twice a day or something like that. So like I said, that's a good option for people on the go. Even patients who do work, who like if they work throughout the day, some clinics offer like a nocturnal shift. So, you can dialyze pretty much, they dialyze longer, like 6 hours or so, but they're pretty much sleep the whole time.
So what's the age range for people who end up on being on dialysis? Because is it hereditary? Like some people can be a diabetic through just they were kind of born not producing enough insulin, or is it, what's the type of
Yes.
ways you can?
So, and that's crazy because right now I actually have a patient, he's 24. And he's basically had problems like all his life. I know they even have it and have dialysis at Riley. So,
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely just be born with it. As well, it could definitely be, in your genes. I know for me, my great grandfather, my grandfather, my mom, my dad, they've all struggled with high blood pressure, diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the case may be. So it's like, for people like that, like me, like we have to be like extra careful, just because like the odds are definitely, stacked against us.
Right.
Um, so, and I've seen patients, you know, well into their 80s who, are on dialysis.
Mm-hmm.
And the long how determined you are to stay alive, because it is a lot. You're changing your diet, um, you're
Oh, so you
limiting
can
how
get
much
off
you're
of it
drinking.
if you on top
No,
of
you
some
can't.
sort of.
You can't get off of it. You can
Oh,
live. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. If you're at end
Well, that's a
stage,
good option too.
exactly. If you're at end stage, yeah, it's no coming back. Once you see me, and until you die, pretty much. But like I've had patients who have been on it for like 20 plus years, so
Okay.
and they're doing fine. So it strictly depends on how committed you are to your health. It's really, I found it really hard to get that through to people our age and
Hmm.
younger, because we want to do what we want to do. And so when we have somebody literally telling, you have to be here at this day, this time, you can't eat this, but you can eat this, you can't drink this much, you can only drink so
Right.
much. So it's harder, and sadly, those are the ones that don't survive that long, because of course, at that age, we're all hard headed. We want to
Hmm.
do what we want to do. We're kids. We're still trying to live. We
Stubborn.
want to be like everybody else.
Right.
So, that's definitely a problem. But primarily, I'm dealing with patients like, 40s, 50s, 60s, and up. It's just
Hmm.
like every once in a while we get somebody who's like super, super young like that. Which
Right.
thankfully now, like, um, in his case, his father is a perfect match for him. So they're working on, him getting a transplant. And so, there's always that possibility of getting a transplant. Um, so yeah, it's a lot into that, and it's not guaranteed, but it's
Hmm.
definitely an option.
So I have a question, and this is
Okay.
going off kind of like for personal record. That my grandmother, when she was in a nursing home, and she ended up being like a small lady, just over time, her shrinking and I don't know,
Hmm.
old age and stuff like that. That she was like probably made 110 pounds or something,
Yeah.
and but she still had high blood pressure, and so me kind of knowing of knowledge now of understanding how blood pressure works and your eating habits and stuff. Do you think because of the older people living in a generalized community of the people feeding them as a mass whole, that they can't cater to their diet as much as they need to, that could contribute to them having their high cholesterol and blood pressure and or high blood sugar or low blood sugar. I know definitely low blood sugar, if they're not eating, then it'll definitely
Right.
drop. But just far as that, if the nursing home has a cafeteria and a cook and they got to feed 60 to 200 residents as there, how could they tend to somebody who has low blood pressure and low cholesterol compared to high, blood pressure and cholesterol? So do you think that that plays a factor in that they might end up going on to dialysis when at the worst time of their life when they don't need to be having any more, you know, health issues added onto it, or does that not play a factor?
It could definitely play a factor. It just kind of depends on how long the person has been dealing with high blood pressure. If it kind of just started up in there,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that happening, but I mean it's definitely possible. However, the nursing homes, like, they definitely struggle with that. I have patients that are in the nursing home, and like we beg them, like, don't give them stuff that's high in sodium. If you give them food that's high in sodium, they're automatically going to want to drink more because it makes you thirsty. That's why you
Mm-hmm.
eat Lay's potato chips, or something like that. You got to have something to drink with it because of
Salt and
all the
sugar
salt.
makes you thirsty, and sugar
Yeah.
makes you crave for
So
more to keep coming back.
right, right. So, with that being said, um, in my opinion, no, nursing homes are not always looking at that. Like, they're looking, like you said, at the bigger picture. We got 200 mouths to feed. We got to
Mm-hmm.
hand these plates out.
All
Um,
right.
I
Get that
really put
jello.
more of that. Okay, you so stupid. I really put that responsibility more on the family, making sure the family is involved with everything, every aspect, especially if it's not someone who can speak up for themselves. Um, so for family members who you have family members that are in the nursing homes who are on dialysis, like, please, like, watch that carefully. Watch what they're feeding your family members. Watch how much they're giving to drink, because then when they come to us, they have on, like, you know, 6, 7 pounds of fluid just hanging around on their around their heart, and it takes a toll on your heart over time, most definitely. Um, and that's essentially, you know, what happens, if you die or something, like, you're drowning. You feel like you're drowning from the inside out. Like, it's weird, it's crazy, but it's so possible. But if you just maintain the fluids and maintain, the sodium intake, like, you're okay. You'll be okay.
I hear you. I hear you. So, basically, you've seen the company Persistent Progress as we do month strong challenges, and basically, I work to try to help people create that mental stability and that toughness, just to be able to sacrifice and actually overcome certain cravings, and just the whole self awareness and conscious type of thing that you are able to go without, and you are able to withstand for something that you technically don't need. So kind of,
Hmm.
I've been doing month strong challenges with that, and people kind of see me and just know me as the person that played all the sports and stuff like that. They think, oh, this is natural, normal, healthy Dre. But I have to, talk. If I talk to them individually, and they can understand that, no, I do. I love cake. Like, I love donuts. I love candy. I didn't eat some of this stuff
Right,
as a kid, so now I have these crazy cravings for it. But so
right, right.
now, me as an adult, and I'm learning all different type of stuff. I've now, me doing these month strong challenges, I've created balance. So it's like that. That's what I'm trying to help get across to people. And I think this is kind of good that you coming on here to let people know also, just as far as for what they need to be aware of and what this can also cause. But also, it's an understanding that I try to promote, that you can have balance. Like, for
Hmm.
November, I did a low carb diet or whatever. And then December was my birthday. So I had cake and every kind of sweet dessert and everything the whole 31 days. But now I'm back to my doing a low
Right.
carb diet in January. But, create some type of balance, that you can't just go strictly cold turkey and just forget everything and just live this crazy boring life. And that's, you die in a car accident the following 2 months, and you're gonna be up a guy upset because you should have had a piece of cake before you left. You know what I mean? You drove past Mom's
Exactly.
Bakery Donut, and so I I definitely want to just make sure that I'm stating right now for everyone that we are promoting a healthy lifestyle, but also don't think that we're saying that you gotta be perfect for anything, because
Right,
nobody's perfect. We're all human, and we're just looking for ways that we can just be aware, creating awareness
right,
to better ourselves, and just create some type of functional program in our lives for doing this. So,
right, right.
but so you told me that the career that you chose to do, but kind of like, where did this start off for you? Like, how many years have you been doing this, or were you doing something? Because you said you didn't want to be in CNA, but you wanted to get in healthcare. Did you start a position before this job and work your way into it, or did you just? How did you find out about this? You go straight into it, or what?
This job literally fell into my lap back in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my then manager actually lived directly across the street from me. And she's a psycho,
Mm-hmm.
but she just said one day, she was like, I watch you, you go to work every day, you do what you're supposed to do, you're wonderful to talk to. She was like, and I would really love for you to work in my clinic. Boom. And that's basically how it started. Before then, I worked in I worked for Williams Comfort Air. I was customer service. And
Okay. Okay.
yeah, and I didn't know that it was that easy to get into, because I'm like, dag, like, don't you have to have like some type of, schooling to do this or whatever? They literally give you all of the training that you need. And
Mm-hmm.
anybody who is ever looking into dialysis, I always say go to Fresenius first. Fresenius kidney care, because you're going to get the best training. There are a few different dialysis companies, and I pretty much dibbled and dabbled in most of them here. Um, and I haven't found a company that teaches you better than Fresenius because they're literally the number
And
one
how do you spell that? Just
company.
for case for anybody that wants to go search it, look it up, because I can't tell you saying
Yeah.
percentage. I can't pronounce what the words you just said. So I'll be honest.
F it's Fresenius. Fresenius.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Cool.
You get they do training. They do training in class and on the floor. So basically you start off in class and whatever you learn in class, you're going to implement that on the floor. Like just keep in mind, you're dealing with real lives. And I always tell everybody like dialysis is not for everybody at all. Like you have to be a special type of person to be in this. So if you're not trying to really help people, if you're not good with people, if you're not good at talking, it's not for you. If you're not a fast learner, it's really not for you because,
Mm-hmm.
like, at the same time you're in training, you're still dealing with real lives. So, you got to take it serious. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be certified by 18 months. Um, Fresenius pays for, I think they reimburse you for that once you pass. And
Oh, that's
after
dope.
that, yeah, and then after that, you're pretty much on your own. And so, like, that's
Do you
pretty
ever
much
have
the
to
route that I
recertify your?
took.
Do you ever have to get
Yes,
recertified? Okay.
yes, every 3 years, you recertify everything, and it's simple. Once you get it past the original certification, that test, like you can just like do like stuff on the computer for like credits and stuff, and build up your credits and turn that in at your 3 years. And okay, here I've done this much of the coursework. Go ahead and give me my recertification. That's
We
pretty
got to
much
do
what
that for
I
the
did.
ET.
Yeah, yeah. So it's pretty much just like that. Um, like I said, since Mercedes is where I started at, I would definitely recommend whoever wants to, get into this field. I would definitely recommend starting there. I feel like you're gonna get the most knowledge from there. And I will say that you're gonna start off. You're not gonna be making a whole bunch of money at first, especially if you don't come from a healthcare background. If you do, they're definitely gonna pay you. Um, but once you get your certification and you get your knowledge up, you can literally go anywhere. And if you're good, they're gonna pay you good.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
it's no limit to it. Like it's a broad future for where you can go
yeah,
and expand. Okay.
yeah. I know. Like 40 and 50-year-old techs still, and I know they getting it in because they've been doing it for so long.
Right.
Um, yeah.
They
So
live
it's
in comfort.
right, right, right. And it probably up to where like entry level nurses are
Mm-hmm.
are making. You just gotta put in that work. And like I said, if you're good and they see that you're good, they're definitely gonna pay you. You feel me? They're gonna be trying to throw money at you, pretty much.
So is this company
Um,
Fresenius? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're okay. Go ahead.
Is this company Fresenius? Are they only locally, or is it
Mm-mm.
all across the
They're
U.S. and
top.
stuff?
Yeah, they're top in the U.S. They're
Okay.
number one. Yeah, so that's why I feel as strongly as I do. You have Fresenius, you have Davita, U.S. Renal. It's definitely a little selection, and some states have different names. Small companies. Some doctors probably they'll do like they'll open their own clinic and
Mm-hmm.
do it that way. I know like people who are nurses who they're trying to open up their own clinic and do it that way. So, there's definitely everywhere, but Fresenius is definitely, the top to go
Right.
to.
Is there an age limit for what your job hires? Like, do you have to be 18 to get the certification, or
Yes.
can you be younger or anything like that?
You have to be at least 18 to get the job.
Okay.
So, yeah, yeah. And I would definitely say the earlier that you start, the better.
Cool.
Just
Cool.
getting that experience, especially if they're wanting to, progress. They do tuition reimbursement, which is
Oh, okay.
bomb, and that's anywhere that you go. Like they want to pay for you to move up to be a nurse or whatever you want to do. They definitely do that tuition reimbursement. So that's super helpful too.
Yes, that's big. So you had mentioned about that when you first start off, you have a lower pay amount. You work your way up over longevity of your career, as well as you branch out to create a higher ranking, far as in the career field. Um, and when you're kind of like at the lowest and first starting, does the love and passion outweigh the the pay amount that you might be receiving? Or you know what I mean, or is it just kind of more of that you see for where the money is going to be later in the future that kind of keeps you going for those tougher, challenging days, getting that certification and all that?
Right. So yeah, you definitely have to have that love and passion. Now, am I saying you got to be making like $10 and $12 an hour? No. Like you're definitely going to be making more than that. And depending on the location, you're going to be working 12 plus hour shifts anyway. So it's not like, you're just going to be, working for nothing. But the love and passion has to be there regardless, because these patients, most of them are at the end of their lives,
Mm-hmm.
and you're literally dealing with them 3 times a week. And so you start seeing them more than you see your own family. And so, it's always good to build that relationship, build that bond with them, so that they trust you, because they're essentially putting their lives into your hands. Um, and that's why I said it takes a special type of person to be able to handle that. I mean, these patients, like I said, they can't eat everything that they want to. They can't even have, a 2 or 3 bananas. Like you can't even do that,
Right.
because you got to worry about potassium.
I was saying
You
people
can't.
better create some balance right now before it really
Yeah,
gets strict.
I'm telling you, because it's crazy. And so, you had these random people telling you, what you can and can't do, when you need to be here. Like you're basically restructuring your whole life. And so, I've dealt with some really bitter patients who they hate coming there, and it's like no matter what you do, they hate coming, just because, it's that, why am I in this situation? Why me type thing.
Yeah.
And so, my approach is always, I'm goofy anyway. And so, like,
Right.
I'm always doing everything that I can to, make the patients laugh, make it enjoyable, because they have to be here for 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
3 days a week. Might as they're
Or
sitting in the chair,
three
you
days a
can't
week.
move. Yeah, you can't move. You have to be still. You can't move your arm. You can't do any of that. So it's like, you got to do something to make it enjoyable for them, to make them
Yeah.
want to come back. So that's why I said, if you're not a people person, or attitudes and all that, like, it's, trust me, it's the patient's got enough attitudes for everybody.
So, what's your work schedule like? Or what's the average work schedule like for someone in your position?
This clinic that I'm at now is really cake. Like, if I have to open the clinic, I'm usually here by 4:30, 4:45 in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And usually we're done by like 3:30 in the
Okay.
afternoon. But it just kind of really depends on your patient load, how many patients you have, how many shifts you have, and all that. Before, when I was working at Fresenius and my clinic, and we was inner city,
Mm-hmm.
um, I think we had to be there by like 4:30, like 4:15, 4:30. And
So,
sometimes I
12-hour days.
wasn't leaving. Yeah, and sometimes I wouldn't leave until, 5:30, 6 o'clock. Like it really kind of depends. So the money is there. If you're trying to hustle and scrape up some money real quick, it's definitely there. Um, but for me, since I've been doing it for as long as I have now,
Mm-hmm.
just to protect my mental and all that, because you gotta think, like, understaffed clinics, all that, it plays a factor, and that definitely takes a toll on you, physically and mentally. I think when I first started at Fresenius, I lost 80 pounds, like
Yeah.
hustling, like you running back and forth on
Mm-hmm.
the floor. But like now, like, I just feel like I'm kind of in my retirement stage. So,
Right. Right. Protect
I
your
have
mental though.
another,
That's the most
yeah,
important thing. You
exactly.
got
And
that.
yeah, and so this clinic that I'm at now, it's like, it's bomb. It's so cake. The patients here, like 99% of the patients are like bomb. Super cool, easy to get along with, easy to talk to. My
Mm-hmm.
manager is ridiculously amazing. Like, so, right now I'm chilling. So, it takes
I
it
hear you.
takes time to get to where I'm at.
Right, right. So what's your true motivation far as with sticking to with this career? Because the thing with our generation is kind of we bounce around. You know, we was labeled as the ADHD kids, so we kind of it's hard for us to stay committed to one thing at a time before bouncing to the next. So like, what keeps you grounded for with your company and your career? You know what I mean? Before even expanding and going some other place and trying to figure something else out, like what's keeping you here? You know what I mean? What's your motivation?
I hate that you said that because I actually plan on not leaving dialysis, but
Uh huh.
I definitely have my thoughts and I have my ideas about starting my own business and what I exactly want to do. But however, with me saying that, I'll never completely leave dialysis alone just because I can take it anywhere. I
Right,
can
right,
go if I wanted to move today, like I could literally transfer clinics and like I have that. I definitely am using this as a cushion and I'm definitely using this to get to where I want to be
that's dope.
in the long run. Um and for me personally, and this isn't for everybody, I just kind of realized because for the longest I wanted to be a nurse. Um
Mm-hmm.
just dealing with all of the family issues that I've had, I just haven't, I kind of don't want to take care of people the rest of my life just
Right.
because, you do it all the time at work and then you got to do it all the time at home. So it just kind of takes a toll on you in that aspect. I've had a lot of deaths. And so, and before those deaths, I've help them at the end of their life. So,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm pretty much the person that my family members come to since I have that medical background. So,
Right.
with that being said, that's like I said, that's just me. But if it's somebody who you want to be in the healthcare field for the rest of your life, you want to be a nurse, like, and you don't want to take the CNA route. No disrespect to people, to CNAs, because like you definitely have to be a certain type of person to do that.
Yeah,
And I
we
just
need
knew that
them.
I wasn't that
We
person.
need more of them.
Right. Right, exactly. And I just knew that I wasn't that person. That's a part of, self-awareness too, knowing that, what's for you.
Yeah.
And so I knew that that wasn't for me. So, by the grace of God, this opportunity fell in my lap, and I've been running with it.
Okay. Okay. And I want to make known that how you say you can transfer and go anywhere is that's I think that's so dope because me even being a firefighter, say I'm going to move to Florida or something, I can't just
Hmm.
transfer down to a fire department down in Florida. I gotta start all the way over. You know, it might be to the bottom. Even if I transfer to Carmel's fire department, I gotta go through their whole. I
That's
gotta get rehired. I gotta go through
crazy.
their whole academy. I'm starting at the bottom, far as my rankings and everything. So it's
Right.
definitely that's
Yeah,
definitely
that's
clutch because you
crazy.
can, yeah. So, but so the benefits I've seen, far as from what you're saying, is that I mean, you being able to transfer and kind of really pick up and go anywhere, and with your certification, as well as the knowledge that you gain and learn that you can take home and it be beneficial to you, and not just at your workplace. You can spread this knowledge to
Right.
family, friends, and so forth. Is there any other kind of benefits that you see far as for having your job career, like anything else, like I mean, just whether it's health benefits, far as you for your insurance cards because you got a kid, a husband.
Right.
Is there any
Right.
type of
Right.
thing like that?
The insurance part, that kind of it really kind of depends on the company. Going back to Fresenius, I feel like they have really good
Okay.
healthcare plans. Um, and also for me, just the type of person that I am, just being around a lot of older people, it's definitely helped ground me more. Like I've always had that strong support system with like my mother, my grandmother, even my great grandmother. Like I've had that, but to like continuously come in and be fed knowledge and wisdom, it's
Yeah.
it's it's a wonderful feeling, and it really does make your life so much easier because these patients, they really do, they have a lot to say, and most of the time it's benefiting you. Like my patient just told me a couple months ago, he was like, hey, make sure when you file your taxes that you file, based on the fact that you're working all the way out in Anderson. because you know the fact that you're traveling, like stuff like that. Like I didn't even know
Oh
that. Like,
yeah, you
dang,
get the yeah
yeah,
on your gas. Yep.
straight. Like I didn't even know that. Like if he hadn't never told me, I would have been looking crazy. So you know that for me, that's the biggest thing. And like you said, just being able to take that knowledge home. Like you know, I watch my mom's health a lot, and she calls me Dr. Sage all the time because she know I be on her. And so like labs, whenever she gets lab work done, like I'm let me
I'm
see,
the same
let
way
me
with my
see.
mom. I'm telling you, we own it. Mom and dad, I'm on it. My mom called me Tommy
Yes,
Trainer because I be what workouts, health, eating, all that.
let's go.
Yeah,
Exactly, exactly. So it definitely helps in that aspect. And I love the fact that I can have this knowledge to take home to, you know, to help my family last another day if possible.
I hear you. I hear you. So, someone that may be interested in your current field, where do you advise like for them to start? Because once again, this video is meant for people that are older than us, our age range, but also people who are in high school that might be maybe
Right.
trying to figure out where they want to be because college might not be for them, or
Right.
even if they don't know what they want to do when they do go to college, they know they want to go. Like, where do you advise them to start? What path to take? Kind of just to check it out, get their foot in the ground.
I would definitely just go on and fill out an application. Like Indeed is my best friend. Like hit it up.
Okay, indeed. Shout out to
Yeah,
Indeed.
yeah, okay. But there's so many, especially with COVID going on, there are so many, you know, job opportunities in
Mm-hmm.
this field. And so I would definitely start there. Whoever can reach out to me if they have any questions or, you know, anything that they might want to just relate to me or anything, and I'll give the, you know, the best honest information that I can. Um, but yeah, I would definitely start there.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Cool. So, like you said, with the route and everything that you took, is there anything that you did that like you bumped your head on that you would tell somebody else to watch out for or be aware of, or you know, if you ran into this route, you're like, I bumped my head right here. So the key from you doing the same thing that I did, just a natural thing, what somebody would do, actually go this way, and it's gonna make it easier for you. Is there anything like that on like this route that they taken, or they look into this career?
Not not really. There's not too much different other than what I've said. Like I said, if you do want to get into it, I definitely recommend starting with Fresenius first in
Mm-hmm.
order. And if you can't, you know, it's okay. Like if you really want to get into it, it's okay. Still go for wherever you want to go for. Um, just make sure that you're paying attention to everything. Make sure you're paying attention to your preceptor, how they move, what they're doing, um, all that. Um, that's really the gist of it. And also just keep in mind that um it's predominantly a female career. And I'm not saying males cannot, because I mean I know a lot of males in dialysis as well.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, with that being said, a lot of females in one clinic. So, you know, you kind of gotta have that. Just be aware that, you know, of course we everybody has attitudes and all that. You
Right,
just
right.
gotta kind of find the right place for you. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
And
so
that's
just
what
go
any
in with an
career
open
field is.
mind. Right,
Yeah.
right, right. But I'm telling you though, all females,
Mm-hmm.
it's
That can be
it can
rough. I mean, it can
definitely be a mess.
it
So
sounds like a man's dream or the worst nightmare. That
and it is, it definitely is. So any males that want to, like, definitely apply
yeah.
because I'm telling you.
I'm definitely about the you know, the equality and different career fields that got predominantly more of one race or more of one gender than the other, that you could
Hmm.
definitely kind of blend some in. Because imagine, you know, how it could help in the hospitals or even dialysis care, that if there was more men out there, because usually you see nurses, you think of it as a woman's job, you know, but it's
Right.
like actually it's a lot of things as far as for coming to taking care of men's health as well. Because I mean, life insurance is more expensive for us because we usually killing ourselves faster and not taking as good care of our bodies as women. So it's like, imagine, you know, you might
Exactly.
have a man in there that could relate and speak to someone in the same type of lingo, you know, and all that type of
Yes.
stuff.
It
So yeah,
definitely
I
helps.
definitely try to push the influence that these men should definitely get out here and don't let them think that, oh, that's a woman's job. You shouldn't be, going after that.
Right, right. And also with it, I'm glad that you said that. Also, we definitely as African Americans, we definitely dominate in dialysis. Like
Hmm.
we in here. We
Yeah,
so, just keep that in mind too.
that's good. That's good. Um, so all right, with your career goals and just the growth for where you want to go, do you feel that you are close to being reaching your destination at the top? 'Cause, I mean, we're not even 30 yet, you know what I mean? But you are in your career, you
Right.
found what you want to do and what you like to do. Do you see that it's going to take you 10 to 15 years to reach where you want to be, or is it looking closer to that? Like, how far of a longevity track is it looking like for you?
As far as just in general or just
Yeah,
where I'm at
in
now is
general.
in general. I'm giving myself I'm giving myself at the most 10 years. I definitely want it to be before then,
Hmm.
but I'm a baby and what I'm trying to do, for
Right.
myself. So I gotta build up that knowledge. I gotta build up, that clientele, everything that I'm trying to do, which, that'll be starting this year, this summer. I'll be going to school to be an esthetician. So, gonna be waxing kitties and
Hey,
whatnot. So,
shout out to you.
yeah.
Shout out to you.
You feel me? So, with what I want to do, yeah, 10 years is definitely that's definitely my goal. And the primary reason why I even did that is because I want to make sure that I am here for Kari. I want to be able to be at all of her events. My mom and granny were at field trips, school events, all that. And I'm not gonna lie, with dialysis, it's kind of hard because you're working them 12 plus hour shifts.
Yeah.
So you just got to kind of keep that in mind. But otherwise, I would definitely say yeah, yeah, about 10 years. I should definitely be where I should.
I hear you. I hear you. Okay. And so, for anyone that's wanting to further reach out to you and learn kind of this information, one-on-one, personal, any kind of questions that they may be able to ask you because they weren't able to tune into the live today, what would be the
Hmm.
best contact professionally to reach out to you? Would it be like by email or hit you up on social media? Where could they
Yeah,
contact?
if yeah, I mean, if you know me, definitely, you can shoot a text or whatever. But for people who don't know me, they can definitely just shoot me a message, on Facebook or or Instagram, um, and I'll answer whatever I can to the best of my abilities. I have no
Okay,
problem with
cool,
that.
cool. I'll make sure that I tag you on this video when I post a recording of it, and just so anybody, if you get any messages from anyone that you may not know, it's because they've
Hmm.
watched the video and they're wanting to learn more. And it's for even further
Right,
down the line. Like I said, this video will be also on YouTube and everything else for our channel and marketing for networking. Um,
right.
so then, us wrapping it up, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, people watching this? Because the videos are meant for a wide range of viewers, from kids all the way to adults and parents and everything like that. Like anything, whether it's for the
Hmm.
persistent progress community, the ones who just trying to learn and gain some knowledge, or people that support. Like, is anything like you want to wrap up and say? Just give your little spiel.
I mean, just like I said, just do what you can to take care of your bodies now. Is definitely going to pay off in the long run. Um, and help your parents and watch out for stuff like that and understand. I think that families of people that are dialysis patients, they don't quite understand the world, and they don't understand why their mother or father or their grandfather is so tired all the time. Like, they don't understand how much energy it takes out of them. So just be that shoulder to lean on and be supportive and be helpful, because it's we're essentially taking blood out of their body, cleaning it and putting it back in their body. So, it takes a big toll on them. So just keep that in mind. And like I said, just watch what you're putting in your mouth. Like, That's the biggest thing. Take care of your health. Men especially need to have a family doctor. That's one thing that I don't see, and I see a lot of men who aren't in touch with their own health. And I think that that's really a big issue. It's nothing wrong with going to the doctor, like just for a checkup, just to make sure everything is going okay. Especially if you have kids, do it for them. Just so you have that longevity of life, and it's a happy life, healthy, happy. You don't feel so restricted. So that's all I got. Just take care of yourselves and take care of the people around you that are going through this, especially, but also in general.
Okay, okay, okay. Cool. Well, like I said at the beginning, I appreciate you taking your time out to do this interview. Persistent Progress goes career exploring. Thank you everybody that tuned in to watch this live. It will be posted as well for a full recording. And everybody that's supporting the Persistent Progress community, that's being a part of the Month Strong challenges, that's been a part of our Zoom meetings, the networking of expanding from just getting people in contact with one another is just kind of like that rope of connecting people together where now you can kind of meet people that you never would expect it to meet or to find out this kind of information. That's what we do it for, just creating a positive
Right.
vibe as a community and just let it keep spreading. So that's the
And let
purpose
me
of
say
Persistent
too,
Progress. Yeah,
you are doing like a bomb job. Like, I just need for you to know that
appreciate it,
I'm
sis.
so glad that you're doing this. Yeah, like, it's because you don't see this. I haven't really seen this anywhere. And so for you to come up with this, like, this is bomb, and I really think that it is going to go somewhere. Like, you really about to go places with this. So just keep it up, and do the meditation like I said. We got to
Yeah.
stay focused, you
Woo.
know,
Hey,
you know.
little man
But I'm
upstairs, he
you
hey,
got to. I already know. But I'm so proud of your growth. I really am.
I appreciate that. I mean, that's what I said, like the support that I'm getting far as with the Persistent Progress community. I mean, that's what motivates me to keep doing this. You know what I mean? It gives me a good feeling that everybody needs a hobby, a positive hobby at that. So this is
Right,
kind of like
right,
something that,
right,
when I get off from work and I do this, I can be proud about it. And it's just something that I initiate on my own. Being a firefighter, I go out and help people because we got the call from 911. But nobody called me to
right,
get up and do this interview with you. You know what I'm saying? So this is
right.
straight from the heart type of thing. I appreciate that y'all respect that. So yeah, persistent progress, consistently striving to become better any possible way. Uh, Thanks, sis. I love you for this. Appreciate it.
I love you too, bro.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right.